I'm currently recording my latest audiobook for Heal Your Mind to Free Your Soul. Now, I have a few audiobooks to record, and I've done them in the past. What I thought might be helpful is if anyone else has got to create an audiobook, I might just help them a little bit here just to show how I create mine. It's not as complicated as it seems, but you've obviously got to make sure you get things right. Now, the main thing I would say, get yourself a good microphone. I've used a cheaper one in the past. I've got to go back and do audiobooks again now because I know the quality isn't good enough. It was the best I could do at the time. So it's like, do the best you can. Mobile phones, headsets, they're just not good enough. I've done a video on mine. I can't even remember the name of it now. Sure. This is my... So that's what I'm using. Very nice, very nice. And it's connected to a audio interface, which then the USB goes to your computer. I have done videos on this. It's worth checking it out. It might be easier to find it on my YouTube channel, but it's also available on TikTok. I think I've called it setup or content creation. So you can find out all about my mic setup through that. So once you've got your microphone all set up, there are obviously, again, in that video, I've shown how you can get the best audio from it in terms of like maybe boosting some the deeper tones if you choose to do that. So after that, we've got the microphone all set up. Then we're going to want to use the right software. So where do you go? Audacity, this application called Audacity, is free. It's open source. So you just Google Audacity, download the software, boom. You've now got a free application to easily record audio. Forget videos. You don't need all this video. That's the point, isn't it? That's why I've got this pop filter. Normally, I don't like using it. So when I do video content, solely video content, I do away with it. It gets rid of those plosives, like the sharp P's and the S's. And when you're doing audio-only content, the visuals just don't matter. Who cares what it looks like? Because you're not monitoring the video. You're doing audio only. So you want the best audio you can get. Hence why I'm using the pop filter, because that is all that matters to the listener. So we've got the audio set up already. We've got the software itself. Now, how are you going to go about reading it? In the past, I used to use a Kindle. So I can hold the tablet in my hand and I would do it that way. Of course, if you've got the physical book, you could do that. I think it'll be quite cumbersome personally to keep turning the pages for a physical book. I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. I think there'll be a lot of problems with that. What I've decided this time around, though, is I've split my screen, as you can see. The one side, I've got the application for audio recording. The other side, I've got a PDF version of my books. Now, I've got different versions of the book. I've got a format that is available for the paperback file. Then I've done it in PDF. I've got it in Word. I've also got like ebook versions. I think it's Mobi and KPub and all sorts of things like that. So I'm just using the PDF. I thought, well, let's try it this way because I can scroll. Now, I've got the noise cancellation, and all this set up on my microphone. It doesn't pick up on noises. Look. I don't know if that's come through, the clicking, but when I scroll with the mouse, you won't hear it. I've got a fan on next to me as well. You can't hear it. Again, audio setup is important. In the past, my other microphones would pick that up, ruin all your audio. You just want it to be you and the microphone. So by having both applications side by side, I can sort of manage it. It's effortless. I can use the mouse, for instance, and I can, as I'm reading, for instance, if we just show here. So no regrets. It's easy to say, live a life of no regrets, but we all make mistakes. In fact, I'll tell you what we will do here, actually, just quickly while I do it. I think it'd be easier. I'll do a new one just to show. Oh Christ, that's going to mess me up. Let's just do it just quickly, just to show what I have to do. I'll mess it up on purpose, just so we can get it across. So we press record. It's all ready. Actually, the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure your setup's fine. So you want playback device is my headphones. It doesn't matter now, but when I want to do an edit, I need to be able to hear what the hell I've just recorded. Yeah. So here we've got the recording device. Now, mine is actually this analog 1+2 Focusrite. That's what it would normally be because it's the hardware. I'm using SteelSeries Sonar microphone because SteelSeries is actually going to do. It passes through that software. That software will do all the effects that I wanted to get included, like shutting off the microphone. So there's all these little noise cancelling and whatnot. So make sure if you're using the way I did it in a previous video to set that right. So now we know it's all right. Headphones, microphone, boom. Now we'll do the recording. I will make a mistake to show what I do. And I get irritated, to be honest. When I'm recording, I get really annoyed because I hate stopping. And obviously, when you've got a big chapter, this isn't a long chapter. I've had other long chapters, and it can get annoying. No regrets. It's easy to say live a life of no regrets, but we all make mistakes, and some people have lived a life seeming to stray from their path. So rather than punish yourself for any mistakes, forgive yourself and move on and grow. Punishing yourself. So that's where I'd stop straight away, because I'm like, that is a nightmare. Go too far, I've got to look for it. So I know the word punishing yourself is where I messed up. So what we'll do here, if you go before that, it was give yourself and move on and grow. That's annoying. It's like, I'm not going to record the whole segment again, the whole book. So what you do, you just hover it, press delete on your keyboard, or cut, whatever you want to do. So we need to find punishing yourself again. That's the part. You have to go, right, where am I? Punishing yourself isn't going to change anything other than cause unnecessary suffering. Someone living a life looking back and considering what if isn't living but romanticizing the past. It's more than likely self-indulgent and only hindering progress rather than providing anything meaningful. If moments and opportunities pass by, it's gone and needs to be forgotten or acknowledged and accepted. Dwelling on moments only keeps us stagnated. The trick is to make considered decisions, and before deciding, take a moment to think about how you would feel later. So, I know I messed that up, take a moment. It should be take a moment. Still recording. That gets annoying. But the point is, you can scroll, you can do all that, you know. I'm just going to show a little bit of the audio now, just so you can sort of get a grasp of what it would sound. It sounded exactly like this. It should. No regrets. It's easy to say live a life of no regrets, but we all make mistakes, and some people have lived a life seeming to stray from their path. Now, I'm going to find a segment where I clipped it so we can see what it sounds like. You may have to remove a bit of gap because the gap might not make sense. Move on and grow. Punishing yourself isn't... Yeah, because I said record. So that's important. I looked over move on and grow. Punishing. So I know this bit here is the word record. Yeah, get rid of it. Delete it. Go back. And grow. Punishing yourself isn't going to change anything. So we can actually remove that entirely. I don't think we even need the gap. Let's go closer. And grow. Punishing yourself isn't going to change anything other than cause. So that's fine, isn't it? That's good. So that is how we've done the recording. Easy peasy. Then I scroll back just to make sure I know what the chapter was. We go to save project. Now this is so important. Save project as. That means if Audible or whoever you distribute it to has an issue with any of the audio, you need the master file really. Otherwise you're going to have a lot of problems because you're going to be working on an MP3 which you don't have the same capacity to edit with. So what I do, I've set a save project as. I've got a whole list here. So all I do is click it so I know the name of the title. Then I would just change the number and the chapter. I'm not going to do it here because I've already done this chapter. So cancel that. Then you have to export the audio to an MP3. That's the project file that was. Then you want export audio. I've set mine to 320 kilobytes. It's the highest. Now, I don't know if Audiobook will have a limit on this now because the files are quite big. We'll see when it comes to uploading later. I'm not going to show that here. Edit metadata. This is where you put all your information in. It's really useful to have this all set because when you've got the files on your hard drive and whatnot, it will have all that information. So what I did a template. It's annoying it doesn't just show as a default because it should. And I'll do that and boom. All I do is put the title in there and the track number there. So we'll say it's 18 there and then the title there. And then you just save it. I'm going to cancel that because we don't need that at the moment. And then I'll show, this is all the files. So this is all the files I've been recording. Chapter 1 all the way to chapter 16. Maybe I did need to be called 18. Oh. I'm not sure. But obviously I'm up to 16 by the look of it. I thought I was further than that. Wait a minute. No, I have done 18. I don't know. I don't know why it ain't showing. Maybe I haven't saved it. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. I have to go through this in a minute. But that's the point, really. It's not overly complicated, but you have to make sure you're ready to edit, and you're better off stopping as soon as you mess a word up. Just stop now. Stop straight away. Because obviously it gets so far, and it's going to be taking you a lot longer to go back and find the time frames when it was an issue. But that's all you got to do, really. It's always worth listening to it back as well. I tend to do the file, actually do the MP3, then I'll listen back to the MP3 because then I know what the pure form is that's getting released. and then I'll go back if I need to make changes.